Welcome to What the Hélène, the irreverent podcast for ambitious rebels who've outgrown the hustle. I'm Hélène Caniac, your guide in reclaiming your personal power, confidence, and voice without burning out or abandoning yourself. Here, we challenge the commodification of suffering, embrace the revolutionary act of pleasure, and dismantle the systems that suppress our self-trust. Join me as we navigate the unlearning curve, redefine success on our own terms, and cultivate a life that speaks for itself. Welcome. Today's episode is brought to you as another tub transmission. These are thoughts that I record while I'm literally sitting in the bathtub, usually into my phone or whatever computer I have near me. And so typically the audio isn't that great. In this case, the audio is so bad, I transcribed the voice note and am reading it back to you. These thoughts are always unfiltered, unedited. I'm either channeling something greater, coming out of a meditative state, or just being a little bit more poetic and philosophical than usual on my podcast. So listen to this like a guided meditation that maybe gives you a dose of pep talk, a dose of reality. Maybe it puts you to sleep in 7 minutes. Whatever it may bring you, I hope you listen to it with open ears, an open heart, and that it leaves you feeling a little bit more present to the day ahead. You feel like you're not burning as brightly as you used to, that your flame has been dimmed or diminished, that your bonfire has turned into a candle. Now is not the time to turn others away and think that by yourself you will grow brighter. It is time now for people to pull you in closer, for you to invite people to hold you a little bit closer to their own light, their own flame. It is time for people and for you to ask others to bring their kindling, their logs with them so that you may have something to light and strike. Sometimes our dimness is not a reflection of our flame or our dying spark. It is simply that our environment has been burned away because there's time for something new to bloom and grow. There is something new to cook and throw upon the hearth. There's something new to prepare. There is something new waiting to become, rising from the ashes of the funeral pyre for this last transition, whatever identity or hardship you've been through. This is what burns away to make space for the new. So call the logs, call for kindling, call for people to bring their light as close to yours as possible, and never forget that your power as a single candle is enough to start a wildfire. It is not the size of the flame that determines its impact. It is its willingness to burn. And in spite of the odds, in spite of the wind, it is in its bravery in seeking out something to connect to that it carries its weight and flame afar. It is in this wildfire carnage that we find the soil more fertile and ready for growth than before the burn. So if you are in the dark in this moment, the light within you will be brightened by the light of others, by the inspiration, by the creative projects, by the community that you surround yourself with. It may be time now more than ever to lend your help and your aid to others. So often when I do not know what I'm moored or tethered to, or I'm feeling under-inspired by my own life, my own business, my own obligations and projects, I know a surefire way to remember and thus reclaim my light and who I am is to provide service to others, to offer my aid, my assistance, my time, my resources, to ask them what they need. What kind of help can I provide? Something small, like helping a friend move from one room to another, making tea for someone who's sick, baking soup, or painting someone's room, lending a volunteering hand in the community. This is the most often forgotten way that we reconnect to ourselves, by reaching out to others. By surrounding ourselves with the others, with our community, we allow our flame to connect and rekindle. We allow our wholeness to be lit alight, to be seen and reflected against. If we are all a mirror to one another, then our candle is brighter when reflected back to us, not because another has thrown gasoline on our flame, but because our candle was always enough. It just needed to be seen, witnessed, a prism to reflect its light around. I just needed reflection. I just needed hard honesty and ownership, facing itself and all of its potential, without obligation, without pressure, without rush. It is also not the time now to dim your light for the sake of others. Let them step away if you shine too brightly. Throw on the sunglasses. Let them turn their back if they must. This is not time to burn yourself out. This is a sacred time to protect the light within you. And if your light should go out, the advice is the same. Allow your eyes time to adjust to the darkness first. Notice what you notice when finally given a chance to see what you haven't been able to, what can only be revealed through shadow, what can only be revealed through time and stillness and presence. Allow yourself to breathe to the flame if you must, knowing that the light will always come back again, but you may not see things the same way, because you will always remember how the light champions against the darkness at every turn, and you will appreciate it that much more when it returns to you. And still, the fastest way for your light to return to you is for you to call for aid, to light the beacons, to ask for kindling and community and care, to let someone else holding a torch come and find you for once. Let yourself be found. Let yourself be lit ablaze again and again and again, until you remember that you are the flame. You are the fire. You are the power of warmth and heat and hearth. You have the power to disintegrate, to destroy, to change, to transform, to alchemize, to bring heat, to bring light into the world. If you are leading others, let me remind you that the oldest lighthouses were not but a flame on a high tower. May you allow... And if you are a leader, may I remind you that the oldest lighthouses were nothing more than a flame on a high tower once upon a time. May you allow your energetic boundaries to provide the windshield around your flame so that there's enough air from within to pass through. Do not cut off your own oxygen supply. Do not cut off your connection to others and community. Let them come through the door. Let them climb the steps if they must get to you, but let them in. Be discerning if you must. Do not be afraid to shield yourself from the elements around you that you cannot control. Do not let them blow you out. But hold on to the knowing that you will be tended to so long as you leave a door open. It just does not have to be the one right in front of you. Allow yourself to be found. Allow yourself to be cared for, nurtured, protected, and nourished. Allow yourself to be led and lit again and again. Remember, you are always the light, waiting to be found, waiting to shine, discerning along the way, leading others through the dark. Remember, you are always the light.